Liberal media pundits are aghast over CNN's recent tongue-in-cheek post about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s viral workout video. The network's tweet reads, "There's nothing junior about presidential candidate RFK Jr.'s pecs," after his shirtless workout went viral, along with this video comparing him to Rocky. Let's watch a little bit of that.
Who knew that under that sedate suit and tie exists a body even Rocky would admire? Though Robert F. Kennedy Jr. didn't do one-handed push-ups.
Let's go.
The workout he posted was captioned, "Getting in shape for my debates with President Biden." Though no such debates or even push-up contests are yet in the works, a fitness coach also posted a video showing RFK Jr. bench pressing.
Up.
The number of views has soared up into the millions. Wow, dude is jacked.
Mr. Kennedy looks pretty ripped.
Sure, he was mocked from his outfit, but in skinny jeans?
MSNBC's Mehdi Hasan replied, "Sorry, what? Did CNN just rehire Chris LICHT? I'm a loss for words. What is this?" I kind of agree. Yeah, are we thirst trapping to win the presidential nomination now? Is that what's going on? CNN's all in for it. Who's running that account is my question. But happy Pride Month to them. It seems to me that whoever's running it is thirsting over RFK Jr.'s workout videos, which I don't think is something that, as someone who is a woman attracted to men, the male gaze likes. I think this is the kind of content that men make for men to seem manly, but to me, it just looks insane. I don't think I'm the only one.
Yeah, this segment was definitely pretty goofy. Back when I covered media, I learned that CNN does these sort of tongue-in-cheek segments by a woman named Jeannie Moose, who's a correspondent there. And if you go and watch some of her videos, they're all kind of sort of funny like this. Some land better than others. I think this one maybe didn't quite hit right, but it is sort of a trend for them. So this predated Chris LICHT. I know Mehdi Hasan suggested that this would have been a Chris LICHT idea. But I always found them kind of weird because they're so inconsistent with the rest of the tone on CNN. They tend to be very self-righteous and take themselves very seriously. They say that even their opinion hosts basically are news anchors, and yet they'll sneak in this little segment. I think it's usually in Jake Tapper's show where they just have this woman narrating a weird pop culture trend, and it always seemed a little out of place to me.
Yeah, it just seems like someone got the keys to the account who was thirsty for RFK Jr. That video, I don't even know why he posted it. I think it was 8.5 push-ups he got through, and people were in the comments like, 8.5, really? And he was like, well, it was, the last set and I was burnt out. And it's like, why didn't you post an earlier clip then? If you're going to post a push-up video, at least do one of you doing 10 or more. I don't know. It's like, if you're going to post like this, you got to really commit to it. But CNN posting this in response, I think it just delegitimizes their reporting and political process. When you try and be funny as a legacy media organization like CNN, it doesn't hit right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the irreverent attitude does not work for a CNN or an MSNBC, New York Times, etc. And this is also not the first time that a politician has basically tried to thirst trap or get by with voters based on their physiques. Remember, Paul Ryan did that photo shoot, I believe it was with JQ or Men's Health, where he was doing bicep curls in the gym, and he had this very perfectly curated gym outfit with a red backwards hat on and his headphones. And I remember at the time being in college, all of us college Republican girls thought he was like the coolest, hottest thing ever. And now it's so cringe to look back at that and think that we ever thought that that was cool. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene picked up the mantle for quite some period of time, posting videos of her CrossFit pull-ups, which I don't understand how they're really doing anything. It looks like most of the motion is coming from the legs rather than the arms and shoulders, but she insists that they're called butterfly pull-ups and that they work. But I don't know, I guess I'm not an expert in CrossFit, which is lucky for me because it's basically a cult at this point. But I think that what RFK Jr. is trying to do here is show that he's sort of like the Joe Rogan candidate, right? It seems like he's trying to appeal to a certain segment of maybe the manosphere voter who maybe likes the populist ideas of Trump, but also likes the idea of having someone who appears to be in really good health going around talking about the pandemic response and vaccines.
Yeah, on the one hand, it's like, oh, that's good. We're going to get, Joe Rogan's kind of defected base to participate in the political process and vote for someone like RFK Jr., who's not someone with, extremely radical views in the far right direction, which can sometimes be the consequence of being in those manosphere communities. So maybe that's good. I don't care to see it. However, I don't care to see any of our politicians in the gym. They all want to be influencers so bad. How about you influence what's happening in policy in the country and you write some legislation in the direction of helping your constituents and working people? I just don't care to see these videos of them trying to go viral online. It's just not what we elected you to do. You shouldn't be able to make money, I think, for speaking at events, let alone dedicate such a significant proportion of your time to getting views online. I just don't think thirst trapping to win votes makes sense to me, or manosphere posting to get votes makes sense to me. But we can't really control the consequences of social media. It's kind of become this beast that's not within our control, and people don't particularly like when someone is just talking about the issues in a very dry way. And so people are getting creative. RFK's posting push-up videos. Marianne Williamson's posting colorful birds every few weeks. It's like they all have their own strategy.
Yeah, I think hairy old man chest is still hairy old man chest, even if the pecs happen to be a little bit more defined than your average 70 to 80-year-old. Also on this thirst trap influencer train is Kari Lake, the former news broadcaster that ran for governor of Arizona. She has apparently been hanging out around Mar-a-Lago a lot and posting bikini pics. And she looks great, to her credit, but I agree with you, Jessica. I don't need to see my politicians stripped down, bared down, no matter how good they look. It's a little uncomfortable, it feels unprofessional, and I just wish that everybody would stop. And also with the related trend, but somewhat unrelated, I actually do want to get your take on this. I am very anti-sneakers in Congress. I feel like if you're going to show up and be a politician and you're going to run for office, and you're going to try to actually make a difference on behalf of the American people, you should dress the part. I feel like there needs to be a level of formality that exists at the Capitol, and sneakers, it just doesn't work for me.
What if someone needs to get dunked on in the floor of Congress, Amber? Have you thought about it? It's very important. The Air Jordans might be necessary one day, or whatever the sneakers are. No, I don't know. I think when they show up and do their procedural votes, and a lot of the members of Congress show up in just everyday clothing, not a big deal for me. I think wearing comfortable shoes is fine. I don't believe in dress codes for Congress, but I do believe they should actually do their jobs. There should be some limitation as to what members of Congress can do in their free time. I don't think they should be able to be earning $50,000 from speaking engagements. They should perhaps be limited to the income they make so that they actually do the job we're paying them to do, not take more money and get paid to spend their time doing something else. I feel like that's my big beef with Congress right now. If they want to wear sneakers on the House floor, fine. I mean, if people will still vote for them, who cares what sneakers they wear, as long as they're representing their constituents, is how I feel about it. I think a lot of the professionalism and how we present ourselves is important, but I'm also not a fan of men just wearing suits. I think the fact that they have a little uniform they have to put on is a bit weird for me. Women have a wider range of what they can wear in a professional and formal setting, but men get their little suits and they have to go to a shop. They can't even pick out their own size. I think it's adorable.
That is actually a good point, that women have more range of options in the wardrobe. My only pushback on the point about Congress people not being able to make money outside of Congress is that if we're going to do that, the base salary should be higher, because otherwise it becomes prohibitive for working class and lower income people to run for office, because they won't have the expectation of being able to make a separate income that allows them to live in D.C. We'll be back with more Rising after this.